Welcome back to The Power Behind the Beauty. Today, I want to talk about a conversation that's circling heavily lately: DIY versus hiring a professional. And before we go any further, I want to set the tone clearly. This isn't about judgment, this isn't about superiority, and it isn't about telling anyone what they should or shouldn't do. DIY has a place, professionals have a place. What often gets lost in this conversation is clarity, and clarity not comparison is what leads to better outcomes. So today we're going to talk about how to know when DIY makes sense, when professional support matters, and why timing, not talent, is usually the deciding factor. DIY at its core is about involvement. It's about creativity, control, budget awareness. For many people, doing it yourself feels empowering. It allows you to be hands-on and connect to the process. And in the right situations, that can be incredibly meaningful. DIY works best when timelines are flexible, when expectations are simple, when the stakes are manageable. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be involved. There's nothing wrong with being resourceful. The issue doesn't come from choosing DIY. The issue comes from understanding what DIY requires once time, pressure, and responsibility enter the picture. I've seen situations where everything looked beautiful on the surface. The decor came together. The plan made sense on everything. But as the event approached, decisions piled up, timelines tightened, and the margin for error disappeared. What started as a manageable plan became a heavy load, not because the person wasn't capable, but because the responsibility outgrew the role. And once the moment was live, there was very little room to adjust. That's not failure. That's capacity being exceeded. This is where the conversation needs to shift. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should be the one carrying it. Capability speaks to skills. Capacity speaks to sustainability. You can be talented, creative, organized, and still overwhelmed if the responsibility outweighs the support. Wisdom isn't proven by how much you can handle. It's proven by how well you decide what to carry and what to release. This is where professionals come in, not to replace your vision, but to protect it. A professional role isn't just execution, it's anticipation. It's understanding how decisions affect timelines, logistics, people, and outcomes before those things collide in real time. Professionals manage complexity so others can remain present. They don't just take over moments, they hold them together. And that distinction matters. You're not paying for anesthetics. You're paying for foresight. Choosing professional support isn't about status. It isn't about luxury. It's about leadership. It's about recognizing when expertise protects the experience for you and for everyone involved. And choosing support doesn't mean you fail. It means you plan. Knowing when to DIY and when to delegate is a form of wisdom. It's not about what you can do. It's about what you should carry. When clarity guides decisions, outcomes improve, stress decreases, and moments are allowed to unfold with intention instead of urgency. Thank you for listening to another episode of The Power Behind the Beauty. And remember, beauty isn't accidental. It's built with intention.